Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 5 of Pedagogy in Practice. In this video, we're going to cover some things related to considerations you should make when starting a class, especially now that you're going to have the summer and fall's coming up, things you might want to rework or consider for going into fall. So in this video, here's what we're going to cover. First, we're going to start off by talking about PreCourse Contact. And then we're going to talk about things you can do within the first 2 weeks of your course. I'm Professor Andrasian-Jones, and welcome to another episode of Pedagogy in Practice. Let's get right into it. Okay, the first thing that I'd like to cover with you is PreCourse Contact, and that's simply just sending out an email to all of your students prior to the start of term. So let's go over some goals that we hope to achieve by sending out PreCourse Contact. First thing is, in that sending out that email, we definitely want to welcome our students into the class. We want to make them feel that the course and us as faculty are approachable. So we want to welcome them into the course. And as far as making them feel that we are approachable, you definitely want to make a positive first impression. Now, if they're a first-time college student coming in, or maybe it's just a new topic for them, or it's obviously the next step in a progression for them, they're likely going to have some concerns and anxiety. So we want to try to alleviate those as best we can in that pre-course contact email. Also, we want to make sure to set the expectations for what they need to do within the first week of the class, as well as how they need to do it and how they can access it. So that's the gist of setting up goals for your pre-course contact. Now let's go ahead and take a look at what happens within the first 2 weeks of the course. Okay, we're now going to take a look at some activities that you can do within the first 2 weeks. And really our goals here are to help the students get to know their classmates, help you get to know the students, but also help them get to know you. We also want to set some expectations. We want to give them some links to some campus resources that are essential to their success as being a student on Bakersfield College campus. And we also want to get them started at a very precise point and help them get there with knowing how to do it. So let's go ahead and look at some of these activities. Within the first 2 weeks is where you want to try to implement these next activities. And some of the introductory activities that we're talking about is an introduction discussion. Now there's a couple tools that you can use for this. You can integrate Flipgrid into your course, which if you follow the tag up above, it'll pop out in a white line. It'll actually direct you to our Flipgrid video. And then there's also Canvas discussions, right? Now in these discussions, you want to make sure that sharing a little bit about themselves, maybe a little bit about what their hopes are for the future, start helping them familiarize themselves with each other so that they can start identifying people that as they start to move through your class with, they want to work with. Additionally, you can also do a get to know you survey. And when you're doing a get to know you survey, you can ask things like what their major is, what their interests are, what is their educational plan, and one thing you might also want to consider doing, and you can have the survey keep everything anonymous, is go ahead and do a psychological check-in. Students have now been at home learning, for a majority of this past year, and they're coming back to campus now. So you might want to just do a check-in, see how they're feeling. Are they experiencing any anxieties? And maybe that's something you can address or talk with the student about, or you can leave it anonymous, and then you just have that feedback for your awareness of what, the temperature your students are coming into the class as. You also would want to provide a page in your course that gives them access to campus resources, technological resources, student resources, all sorts of things. Now, in the academic technology department, we actually created a page that we uploaded to the Commons. It's under Pam Rivers' name in the Commons. And this is kind of the way the page looks. It's a resource page, and it provides them information about technological help, DSPS, BC tutoring, student health, financial aid, and so on and so forth. I'm going to go ahead and in the surrounding text where this video is nested, I'm going to go ahead and put the link to this page so that you can refer back to it if you care to import that into your own course. It's a great resource page, and it provides a lot of very helpful information. Now, one thing you're also going to want to do for your students is to provide a clear Start Here button. And when you provide that Start Here should lead them off to several things. Possibly a course orientation, something that helps them understand how to navigate your course, what your class is about. Also, It can include in that things we've already talked about, such as the discussion. So they click Start here, it leads them to these things. Additionally, you could provide that survey, and you could also provide something like a syllabus quiz or a syllabus overview, maybe a video, maybe an interactive video using Canvas Studio, and then you can also use PlayPosit. There's a lot of really nice tools out there that you can use. And also, you might want to provide something that leads them to an area where you set the expectations. What needs to happen within the first week of the class, as well as sort of some behaviors that you might expect ongoing throughout the rest of the class. Anyway, that's it for this episode 5 of Pedagogy in Practice. I hope you found it useful. See you online.